The Atelier franchise is full of questing, collecting, combining, and of course cuteness. So when I discovered the franchise had a mobile iteration, I just couldn't wait to dive into a wonderful journey of alchemy magic. Well, the wait wasn't long, because I found out it was on mobile the same day I discovered it existed. Today we take a look, a gander, at Atelier Online, Alchemist of Bressisle. Turns out the series makes a case for a pretty good mobile adaptation, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Join me for a tiny impressions of the Alchemist of Bressisle. Before we get started, let's combine our resources to help tiny little games reach 10k subscribers. If you enjoy my amateur content, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Give a like and a share if you're feeling peppy. Alchemist of Bressisle takes everything familiar with the Atelier series, throws it into a brewing pot, shrinks that pot, then synthesizes it into a bite-sized mobile game. Oddly enough, there is a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to do something I rarely do, and actually break down the game in order to make the information more digestible. I know, I'm starting to conduct myself like a real-life content creator. Ugh. Take on the role of a freshman alchemist who joins the Royal Academy to become the bestest of the best alchemist known on the island. I don't consider the story all that interesting nor a driving force for the game. You meet new characters, you explore some mysteries, but in reality it's just a story of someone training to become a better alchemist. The story doesn't need to be great. In fact, I'm okay with an average story because the other mechanics make up for it. Moving on to the exploration. Running around the game world collecting resources is more fun than I thought it would be. You folks know I love me some kleptomaniac mechanics, and Bressisle feeds my needs like a steamy cup of noodles. Collecting these resources is rewarding as heck, as it all feeds into the synthesis mechanics. Every gathered resource can be used to create all kinds of battle items, gear, and weapons. More on that later. First, let's talk about the combat. Yes, this game has combat, although it's a very simple and bare bones example of it. It's an auto system, of course, and while I despise auto mechanics, the combat doesn't bore me to death like a wild boar would bore me. Okay, that was a sad attempt at a play on words. During battle, you can strategically choose how your team conducts itself. I like to have them not use special abilities or items, therefore I get to choose when these cool attacks and healing effects happen. It's a nice touch, one that gives some player input into an otherwise auto experience. Repeat battles can become mundane, yet harder boss type battles do require your full attention. Okay, let's just get to the real reason the Atelier games exist. From the beginning, the franchise has always been about alchemy. Each entry expands on its resource crafting and recipe mixing nature. Bressisle is a smaller version of that, yet it's just as rewarding and exciting as the big sisters that came before it. Every collected item can be used to craft bombs, healing salves, cool outfits, cooler weapons, and an awesome array of food. It's almost like a game within the game. Okay, it's definitely a game within the game. I found myself going out of my way to find as many items as possible, craft multiples, even if I didn't need them. It's not just the desire to synthesize and create that moves the player to do so, it's also the quest system that helps in the dangling carrots in front of my face. The game has a well-made quest system full of things to accomplish. Main story, side story, fetch quests, character quests, and more. It's a completionist dream come true. Sure, some of these quests become redundant, but there's never a lack of things to achieve, and for a mobile game that relies on alchemy, that's not a bad thing to have. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, there is a co-op mode that allows for team questing. I have yet to try it, but I don't see how it would affect the gameplay negatively. Let's move on to the art style. Bressisle consists of a cute anime art style that is perfect for mobile devices. Combat animations are great, anime portraits are well anime, and the world exploration is colorful with the magical prettiness to it. Everything is well put together, yet I will say I am disappointed by a few aspects. I've noticed some low-res textures in the game world. Even character models seem to be missing that something extra. Mobile graphics have come a long way, and Bressisle doesn't look horrible, but I feel like it's missing that extra polish. Something that is downright confusing is the implementation of these bars on the side. I just don't get it. Was the game not coded for widescreen? Was it made for the first generation Apple iPhone? Why are these even here? While distracting at first, they do blend into the background the longer one plays. After recording this, I discovered the game was originally released in Japan back in 2018, so I guess the art style is a tad bit dated. Then again, we had widescreen phones in 2018, so all is not forgiven. Anyway, the overall art style maintains the cuteness the series is known for. Now on to the monetization. In Bressisle, you can summon stat boosting wardrobes, gear, and weapons. Interesting enough, these are the only items to summon. The game does not consist of multiple confusing resources the genre is known for. For that, it gets a thumbs up in the monetization department. The only purchasable currency is the coins used to summon, allowing for a more simple and streamlined process. process. I've received some awesome items through free summons, and the coolest part is, when you summon an item it unlocks the recipe for that item. Let's say you wanted your characters to be outfitted in the same dress. Just craft it, summon it once, and craft the rest, as opposed to hoping you get that same item in another summon. It's a unique mechanic that I don't think I've seen in any other game that relies on gotcha again scenarios. Alright, this video is running far too long, and as my YouTube analytics tell me, only 30% of you are still watching. So is Atelier Online worth a play? Why yes, of course. It's not the best of the bestest of the genre, but gosh darn it, it's a great Atelier iteration. The exploration and item collecting is rewarding. The combat is simple yet strategic. The art style is borderline anime-tastic. Get it? Because of the borders. The questing is engaging, and the crafting mechanics are just as exciting as ever. It's a mixed bag of fun and slum. Nowhere near a perfect game, everywhere near a fun-filled adventure that has earned the Atelier name. Atelier fans should definitely give this game a play. Those who have no idea what the series is about should definitely introduce themselves with Bressisle. So if you enjoy long walks through wolf-filled meadows, while picking apples to make apple juice, while also throwing self-made bombs into gooey goos, then become an apprentice alchemist and download this game. As always, thanks for watching Tiny Little Games. Please subscribe to support my channel, like for more impressions, and ring that notification bell for video updates. Fun fact, my introduction to the series came in the form of the Alchemist of the Mysterious Journey on the PS Vita. Can we get a Vita 2.0 already?